Okay, so a little bit of an update. I was out, oh my gosh, and I just noticed, I was worried about this. Hey, Pleiades has been on for like, oh, who knows, maybe a couple days. Somebody turned on the power and it's been on, so that thing has been running. So I gotta turn that off and see if I can fix the monitor. I think it has a cold solder joint. Yeah, I think the video cable's tugging on it, and I think it kind of either nudged the cable, or it's just the connector needs to be resoldered. But on to bigger problems. So I came in here because I was just like, okay, let me work on stuff, and then a little bit of an update as far as like what's been going on with me. I've actually taken a break from working on the arcade stuff because I'm trying to build actual arcade building, and I want to try to get all these games in there so that way I can work on them and then just kind of be good to go with that, and then get these guys out of the elements. They're outside. I mean, they're not too bad. They've been pretty good as far as not acting up or anything like that. But what I do want to do is get them out, and in order to do that, I need to clear some land. So I've been trying to clear land out to get this arcade built, and I encountered poison oak, and as a result I have been out of commission for the past, it seems like 2 to 3 weeks. It sucks. And I was like, you know what, I'm starting to feel better. Let me come out, let me take a look at the arcade games. And when I came out, this guy, so this dartboard was laying on its side, which sucks. And I was like, what happened? And I noticed one of my stools that I had made. So there's a stool. Let me see if I can find the other one. It's over there. A little Pac-Man. I had a Miss Pac-Man one, like right over here, either by the Miss Pac or the Galaga. I can't remember what it was. And I noticed it was broken too. So what happened was, this got blown over, I guess, and it hit the stool on the way down, broke the stool, and it did slow down the fall, but you can kind of see what it did here. Kind of like busted it a little. So it looks like it came apart at the seam here, but now this part was not supposed to come apart. So I'm gonna have to see if I can get some glue and get this pushed back together and try to see what happened here. It looks like it got kind of like maybe pushed over here. I think it got pushed over because, yeah, so it's pushed over. Oh yeah, it's like the nails are out. I can see it now. So I'm gonna have to come in here and try to get this pushed back in, and as a result it'll come back up here, and I'm gonna take the door back off. The door was off too. So I'm gonna see if I can get that glued back together, get the nails back in, glue it back together, and then strap it so that way maybe it'll kind of be somewhat okay and presentable once again. And this thing was working. I had gotten it working, and now I don't know, after the fall. So I want to try to fix that cosmetic issue, and then see if we can get it up and running. I did kind of boot it up. It seemed like it worked. It seemed like it was collapsed, the monitor, and I don't know if that was just a monitor issue or something happened with the harness inside. So without further ado, I'm just gonna go ahead and start working on it, seeing if I can figure out the lights and stuff like that. And yeah, we're gonna have to really get aggressive on this arcade so we can get the games out of here, so that way strong winds blow in, it doesn't actually rain things. And I mean, there's nothing out here that's like completely like, you know, irreplaceable type stuff. A lot of common stuff. So I mean, you got your Miss Pac-Man, Galaga, Neo Geo, and granted, I mean, it's a lot of games that people would love to have, and I should be taking a little bit better care of it, and that's all my fault. And that's the reason why some of the restorations have been kind of limited on some of these, just because I don't want to go too far in the restoration and then you know, just have it out here in the elements. So like right now, like I need a CPO on Gyrus and stuff like that. And actually, I just heard they're gonna come out with a kit where you can play Gyrus, Time Pilot, and Puyan, which I thought was kind of interesting. Should be kind of interesting with this Monroe stick, because I mean, Time Pilot, you know, makes sense, same joystick, but Puyan, I think, has a different joystick. I don't know. Be interesting. Or does it have a joystick? Is it just buttons? You know, like Space Duel. Space Duel is just buttons. So we'll see. And this one I need to get back on this project too. And then I have a Kicks over there that I need to get back on. So now that I'm starting to feel better, I think we're going to start getting back on some of these projects and actually just get some of these games working. Excuse me. Get them working. And I want to see what monitors in here. I want to see if it's a Geo 7 inside of this Gyrus. Because I have a Geo 7 sitting, waiting. I just need to replace the width coil. And if I could just throw that in here and get this Gyrus monitor looking better, which, I mean, it doesn't look bad. It just has intermittent, like, little issues that I think it needs to be rebuilt. So I can go ahead and rebuild that. But, yeah, so that's kind of the state of things. Yeah, so it's kind of a sad side. I really like this dartboard. But I'm going to see if I can lean it over, start figuring it out, and start working on it. So let me go ahead and start leaning it over. And hopefully the battery... I mean, not the battery, but the camera itself doesn't overheat, because I know that if I use my SLR, it's been overheating, shooting in 4K. And then this camera, which is an Osmo Action, it was so bizarre. Yesterday I was sitting inside in the air conditioning, and it was, I don't know, like 72 degrees inside the house. And I was shooting a video for this Pachinko restore, and all of a sudden the camera overheated. So it was very bizarre because it was in air conditioning. And outside right now it's probably like in the 90s. And that's the other thing. It's today's September 1st. So August is just over. August is like our hottest month. So it was like really hard to get out here and actually do anything because it was just kind of like unbearably hot. And I had a bunch of other like lawn projects and stuff to do. But all right, let's get this dartboard on its side and let's see what the damages are. And let's see if we can go ahead and start working on it and get it fixed. Okay, so if you hear wind, it's because I have the fan on. Alright, so what I went ahead and did is it was a huge gap here. And this was like all like completely apart. And it's a little bit better. It's come together. It was hard because of the way these nails were. So I had to kind of like push these nails down. And then I got a ton of tension on here. As you can see, it's kind of bending the top here. And then I tried to get it as close as I could, but I had to like kind of glue it. But it has the nails going into it now, and then there's still a crack there, which is unfortunate. But yeah, it's the best we can do. I knew I was gonna have to strap it anyways to get the glue to sit, so I used the strap to kind of help assist getting the pieces back together. And then I used a little bit of just kind of cleaning some of this stuff up, and I used a little bit of the mallet and a little bit of the hammer to kind of get it back together. So we're gonna let that sit and dry up. I'm gonna go wash my hands. So I got glue and all kinds of stuff all over my hands. I'm gonna go ahead and let that sit and see if we can get that kind of back together, a little bit more structurally sound. And then a little bit later we can try to figure out what's going on with it, if it's still functional, what's going on. I think the next thing I might do is I might try to remove the chassis from Pleiades and see if we can pull that out. And so look, here's my fan, big old fan, right? Try to remove that out of Pleiades and then see if we can fix that chassis issue. So let me get the stuff for that, and that'll be the next like little repair that we'll do. All right, let me get the stuff. Okay, so now we are on to our next little project, and this is the back of Pleiades, and this game seems to be rock solid, and kind of like tested that with the sense that this game has been on for past couple days in the heat, and it seems to be working okay. And the problem that I'm having though is this cable is super tight, and I think it's so tight that it has it's either the cable or the solder is now like kind of screwy, and I want to say it's the red that's missing out of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to try to pull the chassis out, and since this thing's been on, it's probably pretty hot, right, as far as the charge and the anode. So we're going to go ahead and take this anode cup off, so that way we can pull that chassis out, kind of work on it. We're going to kind of work on these guys. Get the little bunny ears out. Like one side's out. There we go. And then check the charge. Looks good. Okay, so now that we discharged that safely, you can kind of put that to the side. And then you're gonna need a quarter inch driver here. Oh, at least I thought it was a quarter. Or is it loose? Is it that loose? Is that loose? That's not good. Do we have the wrong size? I wonder. Huh. That's weird. I thought it was a quarter. Do I have the wrong size? Yeah, it's a different size than usual. Let me go grab the socket set, because I was trying to be smart and lazy at the same time, and I went ahead and just grabbed the one. So let me go get the full socket set, so that way we can kind of see like what the actual socket size is. So I'll be right back. Okay, so it is a quarter. I don't know what the deal was, but it is a quarter. But the one on the socket set, I guess, is like the wrong quarter, or I don't know. It's weird. So it is a quarter, like I thought. I just happened to grab the wrong one, I guess. Which is weird. Yeah, and this monitor seems like it's okay, but it's never been capped. So that may have to be I have I want to say it's a G07. It's got to be a G07, right? So I have a G07 chassis that has been capped and ready to go. Couldn't get that. I couldn't break that. And look at the poison oak. Look what it did. I have all these pot marks like I had chicken pox. And I have them on my legs too. My legs got really bad. And then it went to my arms and everything else. It was terrible. And I don't wish that on my worst enemy. It was that bad. Okay, so let's see what we got here. Alright, let's pull the video cable. Yeah, this thing's dirty. It's super dirty. Okay, let's see. Let's see what else is connected. Get the neck board off carefully. There we go. And let's see. It's good to go. Putting down dirty monitors, man. That's like a... That sucks. Golly. Like wondering if those rusted in. Okay, let's... What else we got going on? You know, these all broken apart. These are. Should maybe just snap a picture of that for reference. This off. One more. Golly, it's terrible. Okay, so now it has like this little flyback anode cup. It's got these little things. So what do we have left? We just have the yoke connector. Let me grab my phone real quick. Alright, so normally it wouldn't matter, but since this, usually the yoke connector is like all together, but since it's not, and it's like all broken apart, usually it's like keyed a certain way, so that way you know which goes to what. But this one has been broken apart. So it looks like this monitor probably was worked on at some point. Although, I don't know what they did to it. Yeah, it has like some weird tape and stuff. Weird stuff going on. So that's the yoke connector. And then our chassis should come out. So this is the chassis. So we can see it's like, yeah, it's pretty filthy. Pretty filthy. Just trying to see, maybe it has been capped. Looks like it has been capped before. This is what's broken on my other chassis. Busted the width coil. It looks just like it's dirty, but it looks like it's been capped. But the part that we're having issues with is right here. So it's like right here. This is our video connector. So I was thinking that that was the problem. But I wonder if it's just like not in right. Let me see. I'm trying to. Yeah, it seems like that's in there pretty good. Look at the other one. I'm just looking at the one that's going to the neck board. And then, hell, I wonder if it's something with the neck board. I wonder if it's this one. Although it's weird because it's like, dude, that pot is like frozen solid. Guess we could just kind of refloat everything and see if it fixes it. My gosh, is this thing dirty. It's got like crap or something in it, like literally crap. Oh, I don't even want to take this inside the house. Okay, so guess we can do that, and then I don't know why this cord is so short. I'll try to look at that too. Is the cord really that short, or is it just... Maybe the zip tie needs to be busted? Because I mean, that's coming down here. Which is a possibility. Just couldn't imagine it being that short. It's crazy. Okay. Yeah, it's like, I say we start here We do all this, and then if it's for some reason still acting up, then we know we have like a cable issue. I was just looking to look at the cables just to see if it's like not in all the way. Look at the pins. You know, surprisingly, like how dirty this is, the pins actually are not that bad. And everything looks like it's pinned right. And I want to say it is red. Alright, let me get my soldering gun, get some solder, and then let's do this. Okay, so we went and got the soldering iron. Soldering iron's heated up. Didn't take long outside in this heat. And it is definitely hot out here. It is ridiculously hot. So I'm thinking that the issue is either here in these pins, just for the video connector, or it's actually going to be in here, which looks like it's been kind of touched up before with the solder. So I'm going to see if we can kind of maybe just clean that up a little bit, whatever's going on there. So I'm just going to throw some solder. I'm hoping that this is the problem here. Okay. Let's clean some of this up. Let's see. Trying to keep my sweaty hands off of the PCB. And I don't know if this is actually the problem here, but I figured since it was out, might as well just kind of hit it with some fresh solder. And since it's the red, I'm thinking it's that second one. But this one looked a little suspect too. So now that we got some of that old solder off, let's go ahead and throw some fresh one on. Go. Let's see, and let's do the same for. Let's do the same for over here. This part. Okay. Hopefully this fixes it. Because it seems like it's not like anything else, because it's like like you wiggle the connector and it adjusts and it fixes the problem. Just need to get some of the, there we go. Get this one now. Get heated up. Alright, let's see. So there's a little bit more on this other side. There it goes. Same thing over here. There it goes. Okay. So now let's solder in some new solder. Okay, let me grab my, I left my multimeter over there. I'm just going to grab it real quick so we can check continuity. By the way, I think my multimeter is acting up. I need to order a new one. It checks continuity, but the voltages are all over the place. Alright, so I want to at least make sure that we did not short the two pins together. Which we didn't. Okay, we're good there. And so let me, right now I'm just going to check here. See how it has this little point here where you can touch? I'm just going to check that it's making a connection. I thought you could just check it like that, but I don't know if my multimeter, if it's not making a good connection there. So let me check that, and then the pin. There we go. So we know now that those are all like, everything's working, nothing's shorted. And I think on the other one, this one it's too big to short anywhere. Okay, so that's done. So now we can put it back in the game and check it. So let's go ahead and get it back over there. Okay, so I'm surprised that the camera didn't shut down because it's like super hot, and the camera was super hot. But I got that cable plugged back in. I need to check the yoke connector and get everything just kind of plugged back in here. So let's snap that up and get it situated. So these cables here. Yeah, that camera was super hot. There we go. Alright, so now I'm going to check the... let's see, I'm going to check that yoke connector real quick. So let's grab that yoke, and hopefully it stayed in the same general pattern. Doesn't look like it did. So we do know it's like a yellow. The one that I'm getting mixed up on. Okay, so it looks like it's this one, this one, this one, and this one is last. Oh man, I didn't even look to see. Oh, shoot. We might have a little bit of a problem here. The way these things plug in. I think this is right. If not, we'll just check it real quick and flip them around. No biggie. Okay, so let's get this back up. Oh, I forgot. I was going to look at the pots on these guys, because this pot is like actually... I forgot I was going to look at this. That's actually the red, too. So I wonder if we have a bad pot. Well, that doesn't make sense, right? Because the connector up there is where the problem's originating. Okay. Oops, pushed a little too hard there. Okay. So now we just have power and video. And I'm just gonna double check and make sure that we had a little bit of a spark. Get this anode cut back on. I have a hard time trying to get this back on. Oh, still nope. Okay. Hey, there we go. Alright, so we got it. Alright, I just keep that on for safety. Okay, so now let's see, we still got that pull. Ridiculous pull on the cable there. Man, I wish there was some way to address that. I have to like put in a new cable, which I have the. Let's see, what do I do with that little? Oh, in my pocket. I do have some video cable, but it's not like this type of connector. It's just that I mean, I want to say it's the other type of connector. So I would have to see if I can make something, because I'd probably have to cut it on both sides instead of just cutting it on the one side and making it longer. Which I'm actually experiencing that same problem on Pac-Man cocktail that I'm working on in another video. And this is the one that was super tight. It grows. Okay, so now it's all in. Let's connect the video back up. Which, I mean, the problem could be actually in these connectors here, actually. So it's pulling so tight. Alright. So now we flip it on and go see if it's working. Okay, so just flipped on the game. Takes a while for the monitor to warm up. But when I first flipped it on, I was like, oh man, it was like not coming on. But it was the interlock switch. But hey, look at that. Our red is back. We now have red, green, and blue. So maybe it was a bad solder joint as far as the game, and I don't know, probably have to let it run. I don't know about the next couple of days, but might run it a little bit later and just see if it kind of acts up at all. Because if it does act up, then we know for a fact that it's going to be a cable and it's not going to be the solder joint. Although the solder was like necessary. But can't remember. I think you have to put quarters in this one, or you have to coin it up. I think there's a free play kit for this, which we'll get eventually, not right now. But yeah, that looks like that worked. Cool. So there's one other thing I want to check, and then I think we can kind of call it a day. It's pretty hot out here, and we can call it a day as far as some of the outdoor stuff. Alright, so let's look at the next thing real quick. So I was about to go work on something else, the next little project I was talking about, and then this happened. So now I don't know if it's I don't know if it's just a board and the way it's sitting, and the reason why it makes me think that is because the way some of this other like little garbage is. I don't know if you can see it. See the way these are? So I'm thinking I might have to like reseat stuff. See, look, watch. See how it's like flaking out? So I might have to like take the board out and then reseat it. So maybe I'll do that, and I can work inside for a little bit and let the camera cool off for a bit. And then we can kind of cross this one off the list. Still want to kind of get this one worked on and see if I can get it done. So let's take it inside. Okay, so we got it inside, and the reason why I brought it in is because it's a tiny board. You can see it's a 2-board stack. And that's it. That's the gist of it. It's really, really small. And it has some of these jumpers. I don't know if these jumpers were from the factory or what. But I think this is the processor. This is a processor. It's a 1977, which I think is funny. I don't even know how old this game is. I thought this game wasn't that old. This was like from the 80s. Let's say it's like early 80s. But anyways, so this is where I'm thinking some of the issue might lie. We're going to take the same screwdriver we were using for what do you call it? Discharging the monitor. We're just going to kind of lift some of these chips up and just reseat them. I'm thinking if that PCB for the CRT is any indication, although the board looks really clean, that something just kind of is not sitting right. figured it'd be a little nicer to do this inside. Oops. Hopefully no legs broke. It's a weird snap. Nope. So when you reseat it, you just got to be very careful because these legs are real brittle. And then when you're pushing them back in, you just got to make sure all the pins line up before you push back down on it and get it back in its socket. Just like that. And this does a lot of times is it just kind of, if stuff has a bad connection, it'll just kind of fix that issue. We're just gonna go one by one, and I'm hoping that this will fix that garbage that we're experiencing on the screen. And you just kind of want to loosen them up, just like that. And then you got to kind of press on the other side of the board. Just like that. It's almost done. This is just kind of shotgunning as far as what could be the problem. Just kind of reseat all of them. And then if something else is still persisting after that, then you kind of have to take it to the next level. I need to really get a chip cord. That way I don't have to use these screwdrivers. And actually the screwdriver might be a little too big. I'm having a little trouble getting under there. I have another one that's actually pretty tiny. Come on, chip. There we go. Alright, so now these are all... There we go. And what I like to do is I like to just kind of lift one side because you kind of use the leverage to go ahead and get the other side of the chip. When you push down, it kind of pushes the other side up. Alright, let's see. There we go. And you can use these chips to kind of pull it up. Alright. We're running low on battery, it looks like. So I'm just going to continue this up. And then we can go throw it back in the machine and try it. So let me just finish this up. And I'll change the battery out, and then we'll try it. See if this made a difference at all. Okay, so I had to let the camera cool off for a bit, but got the board back out here and reseated the ROM, so I'm just going to put it back in. So it's a double stack, so I just got to line up the PCB on the little tracks. There we go. There's one. And get that second one. There we go. And then that just kind of keeps it from touching each other. Okay, so let's get the harness back out. Okay, so there's all that. Let's go around to the front and see how it is. You know, it's always a gamble. You know, you start taking this stuff apart, and it's like somewhat working, and then, you know, you do stuff to it, and then all of a sudden it's like not working as well. So let's see what's going on. It's also, I'm wondering if it's like heating up or something, and that's causing it. But if you notice, I mean, it just turned on though, and it was in the air conditioning. But if you notice, the little flicker is gone. I want to get this kind of where it's just working when you flip it on. I thought I saw something down here, but I'm not sure. Oh no, it seems to be working right now. I don't know, did that go out? No, the red's still there. Kind of scared me. And see, if you remember, like, these were all like little boxes. Like, it was like something was wrong. It seems like it's working, I guess. These always look, the color looks wrong. I'm gonna have to look inside and look, compare it to YouTube videos. Almost feels like there's something else that should be there, like it's missing a color. But it does have the red, green, and blue, so I don't know what it could be missing, because there's only 3 colors it could have. But we're gonna call this one, I guess, a success for now. Oh, there it went. There went the colors, and look, there went the issue with the boxes. What is causing that? That is so weird. It just happens after a while. This could be like a voltage issue now, so I'm gonna have to look more into this later. It's playable, but it's definitely something's going on. So it might be a power issue, because it seems like it works okay at the beginning and then it has problems. No, that's kind of weird. But look, you see that? It's like something, see how it just kind of, you rock it a little? Now it just came back. Whoops. I think I had my, one of my sockets up there. Probably shouldn't have rocked it. What did I have up there? Let's make sure it wasn't my phone. Let's see. Just kind of curious. I'll see that went away. Okay, so maybe it's 2 things, maybe? Let's see. Let's see if we can coin it up. Let's see what it does. Yeah, I still got those boxes. Yeah, I still got those boxes. I don't know what's going on there. Yeah, so we're gonna have to check voltages. It's not something just like seated wrong, I don't think. Alright, so we tried that. It's getting kind of late. Let's see how the other thing's coming along. guess we'll know once we take that strap off. I might leave the strap overnight. Just see how it goes. We'll see. Yeah, I think that'll be good enough for tonight. Or today. I gotta go do some other stuff. But really wish we could have fixed that.